Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're my patrons and subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So we had that been live since a little bit over before Thanksgiving. So yeah, so if you had not been caught up, I'm gonna catch you guys up. Hey guys, the guy who's hosting tonight general election is gonna be Leo period. So if you want to follow him on his the screen right now. Um, so I was recently running in the Democratic primary and I won by a convincing margin, which I'm going to show you right now. So for anybody who voted for me in the Democratic primary, thank you. We were able to win with a 62.2% of the popular vote to 2,934 in electoral college. I mean, in the delegate count. As for the Republicans, we are facing up Donald Reagan, well, she's from Florida, and his political affiliation leaned to the right. He won with 36.2% to 1,433 delegates. But definitely in the Democratic primary, I definitely had a major blowout. I won almost all the states in the US and all the extra territories. But this is where it gets really down to. You can definitely see I am the Democratic candidate representing the Democrats in the presidential election. The polls have just closed at 10 p.m. It is 10:03 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can definitely see like how that all worked out. It's gonna be really interesting to really see the result because as you can see here on your screen, we have a lot of far right leaning candidates like Donald Reagan is not a far right candidate, but we do have a lot of right leaning candidates, if you know what I mean, like Skylar B. Bennett. We have what else? We have conservative American politics. We got the Jaquan Feder person. We have Donald John Trump. We also have Abraham Lincoln. And then we just have the two centrist candidates, which is Jeffrey Lee and me. Then we have the left-leaning candidate, which is Rachel Collins from the Green Party. So the way that he set this up is basically like when somebody votes, they don't vote per like down ballot. They just vote for whatever state that you represent. So just say you're from the state of Florida and you go to vote. The candidate you're voting from is only from that specific state. So just say you put down, oh, I'm from the state of Florida, you will only get your vote will only count for the state of Florida. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I have not been live for a while, so I am coming back to YouTube. That is something that I plan to do. I have always said that. Yeah, let's refresh and see if any of the results have come in yet. Okay, let's see. None of the results have been counted yet, so that is good news. I am very nervous because this is the first election night that we are doing where I'm in the election. We're not talking about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton or anything like that. We're talking about me being in this general election. So really what tonight is just what's called a mock trial. Based on our estimate right now, based on what Leo period said that there was a total of 110 people. Hey Boone, what's that? Boone is also running. He is running as the Abraham Lincoln candidate, so he is here. In the race, he's actually running as the Union Party for Abraham Lincoln. So let's see how well he does tonight. That would be really interesting to see. I figured this will be a little bit different than the usual politics that we cover here on the channel, particularly because sometimes politics can weigh us all down, but in the fun of it all, why not just vote for different candidates that, in a hypothetical scenario, how would the outcome turn out? And so this is kind of what this election is. We went through the primary process, we went through the Democratic process, and the Republican primary in both the states. You have to win each state. I didn't do so well in the state of, for example, I didn't do so well in Iowa. Now, when I say I didn't do so well, I did phenomenally well. I came in second place. Don't get me wrong, okay? I also did really well in New Hampshire. Well, actually, didn't do that well in New Hampshire. But when it came to like South Carolina, I did pretty well. I came up in second place. I actually won out county, which is pretty good. And then in Nevada, I came in second. I was just behind Jack Kid. And then in the state of Michigan, I was able to win 2 counties, and I was still in second place, right? The little sudden Super Tuesday came, and I was winning with 63% of the vote. I was winning 47, 50, and then it just kind of steamrolled. And it just seemed to me that I had the momentum, that I was going into this election, into this primary, winning the nomination of delegates. And as you see, as we scroll down and stuff like that, like, it started increasing in terms of the vote count. I started having my political party, the Democratic Party, coalesce around me as a specific candidate, which is very important leading into a general election. Like Florida, for example, I don't won that state was 74.3% of the delegate. Was 74.3% of the popular vote, and I ended up winning with 216 delegates. Ironically enough, I'm from the state of New York, right? And so New York alone was the state that actually put me over the top to become the Democratic primary nominee for the Democrats. And so you can see here that in the state of New York, I won with 24 votes, and I won 85.7% of the vote. I think that was almost my highest vote total. And that was the state alone that put me over the top, which I find to be very phenomenal. But I did very well overall, which is a really good sign for me going forward. But going back to the presidential results, it should be coming in now. Let's see how that is turning out. Let's see. So right now I have one vote, and so does Donald Reagan. So Donald Reagan is the Republican candidate, and I am the Democratic candidate representing the Democrats, and I have one vote. So we're split right now in the popular vote. What state came in so far? So in the state of Indiana, it's a tie. So we are tied right now in the state of Indiana. This is interesting. Let's see how that is. So he's going by state. Now, just a reminder, there's only one person going through this. So it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. Yes, may the best win. This is the Republican candidate, Alexandra. So hello. Hello. Are you excited? How do you feel about tonight? I feel very nervous. I mean, it's really interesting to see whether or not me or you win, or just say another candidate like Donald Trump spoils the election as the third party candidate and wins. Indiana electoral votes will be split by 3. Okay. So actually, also you're telling me that there's a 3-way race. So I wonder who that third party candidate is that's splitting that vote in the state of Indiana. Interesting. Let's see. Okay. Can I move over? It won't let me like slide over for some reason. So I don't exactly know who was. Oh, so Abraham Lincoln. So Abraham Lincoln was the other candidate that was leading in the state of Indiana. So Leo, so since you're here, and I would like to know technically. So if a state is split, then how exactly do you color the state? Do you color it as purple? Well, actually, no. Maybe you couldn't color it purple because necessarily there is a candidate here on the list that is purple. So exactly how would that play out? Hi, Doris. How are you? Welcome back. So we are also on Discord. So this is like a Discord thing. That's why all the candidates are here. So everybody in the general election right now are actual real life people. This isn't like made up. There's people who actually voted, who actually picked their candidate, went through the primary process, and now we're at the general election process. We have about 110 people, which means if you were to divide that evenly, 110 people along 50 states, including DC, which is 51. Let's see. So 110 people divided by 51, which means each state should have 2 people voting. But in most cases, that's not going to be the case because, like, let's say in the state of California, or Texas, or Florida, or New York, it'll be really interesting to see how the vote is allocated according to the candidates. Thank you, Doris. It's good to see you too. How are you feeling, love? I haven't seen you in so long. I'm finally back on YouTube, so it's been a long time. I got surgery and everything. Not that you really need to know any of that, but yeah. How you been? So right now we only have 3 things reported so far. The electoral vote count has not been updated, but this is really interesting. I'm very nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm very nervous. Who do you guys think is going to win the popular vote? Do you think the Democrats are going to win the popular vote tonight, or do you think the Republicans tonight? Or do you think there's going to be a major upset with a third-party vote? Now, hear me out. When I went into this election, as a Democratic primary candidate, I didn't really think it was going to be this hotly contested. I thought, I'm going to be honest with you, and don't take any offense to this, Alex. I hope I can call you that. I mean, but for Donald Reagan, who is actually Alex, who is running that candidate. I honestly thought it was going to be Skylar Bennett, because he is a far right candidate. So my assumption was, okay, so if he was running, the Democrats would more so coalesce around me rather than Bennett. The problem is, me and Alex are kind of like evenly split. So I lean more towards the social spectrum in terms of liberal politics, but then I'm more conservative when it comes to more Republican views when it comes to the economy. However, he is more liberal on social stuff, a little bit more liberal, again, more so very conservative on certain aspects. And so it's very interesting to see how two centrist candidates became the mainstream candidate. And so it kind of shows you already that even though Donald Trump is the presumptive nominee, there's, in general consensus here, that even though Donald Trump is the presumptive nominee, just know that this could also mean that Donald Trump might just be one of those unique candidates of our lifetime. He might be one of those candidates that I would say might be a little bit more extreme in terms of certain views. But this election already shows us that America is more center than left or right. And so even if a lot of us ask ourselves where we're going to be in the next 7 to 10 years, we could very well end up in a scenario where we might end up being more center, where most candidates on both sides are more moderate. If this is the path, then this is great for the country, because that means we're going to have bipartisanship again back in Congress, but back in the Supreme Court, and hopefully back in the White House, which is really what this country really needs. And so going forward, I think this election may be indicating something long term. I'm glad you're doing very good. I'm winning by one vote right now. Ooh, okay. In what state? What state, Boone? Okay, let's see the results here. Let's see. How are we doing? Okay, so I am leading by one vote. And what state is that? Okay, so I won the state of Kentucky. That's good. So I won the state of Kentucky. So I won 8 electoral votes. Or is that only that I'm leaning in the state of Kentucky right now? Because it appears to me that in the state of Kentucky, this might indicate here that light color might just indicate that I might be leading, but doesn't mean I definitively outright won the state of Kentucky. It's interesting that I won the state of Kentucky, as a Democrat. That's interesting. That's your home state? Oh, really? The state of Kentucky is your home state? Interesting. That's cool. That is cool. No, I just find it interesting. Like, if you guys can invite other candidates into this chat, this would be really cool. This is really cool. Oh, you voted for me as a joke? Really? Well, I'll take it. I need those 8 electoral votes. Every state counts. Oh, as a joke, you voted for Lincoln? Well, obviously, you are Lincoln because you are representing Abe Lincoln. Now, I don't understand exactly why. I know I was attacking you. No, don't get me wrong. When we were campaigning and whatnot, we got on attack each other a little bit. So I hope you don't take any offense to me attacking you as Abraham Lincoln, because I was attacking him on his records and stuff like that. How his vice president was almost impeached by one vote and avoided it, and how his administration is corrupt. Even though that is not exactly the case, you got to do whatever you can to spin it in your favor. So I do hope that we're on good terms here, Boone. But yeah. So this is exciting. I'm like, this is the night that I've been waiting for. Like, this is really cool. Like, this is not like an election simulator or whatever like that. This is really cool. So I just see on your screen right here, I have been officially called. The state of Kentucky has been called for me. So I have won the first state of the night. I have won the state of Kentucky with 8 electoral votes. So I won the state of Kentucky. So that is amazing. But in the state of Indiana, it was split 3 ways. So which means that we are tied in the state of Indiana between me, Donald Reagan, and Abraham Lincoln, representing the National Union Party. The electoral votes in the state of Indiana, which has 11 electoral votes, will be evenly split among us 3. So as of right now, technically, I'm in the lead right now, but the night is young. Do not count it out yet. Will be really interesting to see what the electoral count map is. Do you guys think that we are going to reach 270 tonight? Do you guys think we are going to win with 270? Whether it's me or another candidate, do you guys think a candidate tonight will win 270? Or do you think we're going to go into a runoff race between me or someone else and up the two-person battle to see who's going to win the White House? who do you think is gonna win? Or at least, this would be really interesting. Like a full side note here. Um, I even had this thought, and I was mentioning it earlier in the Discord. I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so technically, what if it's possible in this scenario or this outcome where the Democrat, me, loses the popular vote, but wins the electoral college, but then the Republican, who is represented by Alejandro, which is him right here, um, who is Donald Reagan, wins the popular vote but loses the electoral college. It will be a complete reversal of 2016. So this is really interesting to really see how this election night simulation will play out. But nonetheless, it is phenomenal that will carry the state of Indiana right now. So I don't know. I just find it really cool. It's I don't know. I'm just really excited. This has always been my dream to do something like this, and to really see how like multiple people from multiple different backgrounds, from multiple different perspectives and understanding and stuff like that, how do they see us? Like, how do they see us as a people, as a group? But not only when you go and you do like election night simulators or games or stuff like that, like on the campaign trail or 270 to win or whatever type of election night simulation game that you play, it is always you versus the computer or you versus one other person. This election is so different because what it does, it allows us to go through a broad spectrum of people, right? I go through a broad spectrum of people. And what's really cool about that, it allows people from multiple different areas, from Asia, from Europe, from Africa, from South America, areas that normally wouldn't be able to experience the true benefit of the American experiment are now able to truly experience that. And, that in itself is really what America is all about, is coming together and united under a common ideology or idea, is who can get out the vote, who can, what to call it, energize their base to come out and vote for them. I was at my job today. I was telling my friend, make sure you vote. Make sure you vote for me. They're like, you're running for president. I was like, nah, like they're like, you're not even 35. I'm like, I may not be 35, but I got the mentality of a 35-year-old. I really do not. I do not. I retract that statement. I do not actually have a personality of a 35-year-old. If I did, you guys will be calling me a millennial, but I am actually a Gen Z. But in the terminology of everything, it's really interesting to see because a lot of people were asking me like, "Oh, you're not actually running for president, are you?" Does nobody know who the president is? That's like the funny thing is, it's like that's the most common question I've been asked continuously throughout this entire democratic process through the Democratic primary into the general election. They're like, "Yo, Chris, are you going to become president?" I was like, I don't think I'm gonna become president. Not in reality, no. But in this game, hopefully, because that would be kind of cool. Because if I win tonight and I win this election, you can bet the damn sure I'm running for re-election. Because my vice president, who is named Clark Kent, ironically, he says he's not Superman, but I have some doubts about that. But he runs on the Republican Party ticket, as you can see here. I can't even pronounce his name right now. But you can see here, Clark Kent. Oh, that's his name. I didn't even pronounce his name right. But Clark Kent, he won with 8.5% of the popular vote, but he is my Republican nominee. I mean, my Republican vice president pick. He is running with me because we are on a union ticket to try to bring both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats, together. There has been an update. Woohoo! Yeah, we got the state of Kentucky. The first time a Democrat has flipped that state since God knows when, because I honestly do not know. I think the last time the state of Kentucky was won was by Jimmy Carter. No, not Jimmy Carter. I think Lyndon B. Johnson won the state of Kentucky in his massive landslide. Let's see. There's been an update. Let's see what that update is. Okay, so in electoral vote count, I have 12 electoral votes to Abraham Lincoln having 4, and the Republican candidate right now, Donald Reagan, at 3 electoral votes. So it's interesting. So as of right now, what states were called? Okay, so I guess they just finished allocating the state of Indiana right now, which only has I got 1 vote from there. Reagan got 1 vote, and so did Abraham Lincoln. That I outright won the state of Kentucky. So that's why I'm leading the electoral vote count. So the way it works is if there's a tie, because there's such a low amount of people voting, that if there's a tie, like a three-way tie or whatever, it will be split between the three candidates, and if no candidate reaches 270, it will be the top two candidates that go into the runoff. So this would be really interesting. The question that I want to know is, did the Democrats coalesce around me? Because according to the polls, and I'll read this poll to you, because according to what I've seen in the polls, is that this was the result. Going into early election night voting, right, which occurred earlier today, was Donald Reagan got 36% of people who were going to early polling. He was leading with 36% over me, right? Because I only got 27% of people who came in to early vote voted for me, right? But those who voted for Bennett, the far right candidate, he got 9% of those who said they voted early. Now, for those who voted for Green Party, which is my opposition, who may split the vote for me or play spoiler in this election for me, Colin, 18% of people who voted early voted for Collins. Now, for those who stayed home, well, those are 9% of people who refused to vote for any of the candidates suggested. Now, who's to say that they didn't click it and voted anyway? So it really was really interesting to see who voted, where are the votes really coming from, are the Republicans, are the Democrats, just say in the state of New York, right? Let's say I win 16 votes in the state of New York, right? I lost 16 votes in New York, which means that 16 votes could have been distributed throughout the rest of the 50 U.S. continental states. However, that's what I'm saying. So for the Republicans, just say, Donald Reagan gets like 30 votes in the state of Texas, hypothetically speaking, he will carry the state of Texas outright. He will win that state, no doubt. But if he wins the state of Texas tonight, what that means is just say he gets 30 votes in the state of Texas. What that might just be indicating is that 30 votes went for him in the state of Texas only, which means that he doesn't really have a broad a broad amount of votes elsewhere. It's all concentrated in one area. The question is, how concentrated are these states, and what party are they voting for? What really interesting to see is, well, is what I find to be really interesting, to me at least, is how concentrated are they? Like, for example, in the state of Kentucky, I won that outright. I won that with 100% of the vote because only one person from the state of Kentucky won it, right? So how many of these states are going to be outright won by one person voting, making the decision for the entire state? So that's what's really interesting to see. Well, the person from California, one person may vote for California, and that could be the one that alters the election. That could give somebody 55 electoral votes. That's why the state of California, Texas, New York, Florida, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, those states are really important because those states are heavily concentrated. So definitely expect more competition in the swing states battle. But also the swing states in this election are going to be the state of California and all those other states that I mentioned, because those are highly populated areas. So basically on this hypothetical election here, we're not actually having a two-way race. We are having a multi-party race. And this is what's really interesting. The question is this the future of the United States? Because you can really tell already that Indiana was a proportional vote system. But Indiana in this reality does not have a proportional vote system. It's winner-take-all system. And that's what's really interesting to see how this all plays out. So you guys are tied. That's interesting. Let's see if we get a new update soon. If any of you guys who are running and you want to join the live chat, let me know, because I will add you in and you can talk to me through the screen. So, and you can talk to us and everybody can hear us chatting and stuff like that. So if you do, just let me know and I will send you the join link on Discord, and you guys can join this thing if you would like to join. So it's up to you. But if you want to have a full-on conversation, discussion, like one of those news outlets where they have like multiple people talking on the platform, just chatting and whatever, just talking about the results and whatever. If you want to do that, let me know. It'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. So this election night could go really quickly, could go very slowly. Again, we have about 9 candidates running tonight in the general election, so really interesting to see how this plays out. I also say that this is going to be very important for us as a country to kind of see where this is going. Surprised Trump is not getting the votes. Really? Trump is not getting any votes yet? Interesting. I swore anybody who loves Trump, because I know I did some polling, I did heavy polling too, about 900 people who I voted and picked. Like, like I didn't vote and pick. I, polled out of 900 people, 46% of those Republican voters back Trump. So I'm surprised that we have a lot of heavy conservatives tonight, voting, and only one vote went to Donald Trump tonight. And I want to see what state that came from, because Donald Trump right now just got one vote, so he has 5.6% of the popular vote right now. So let's see. Where is the state coming from? Okay, so he just went to the state of Florida. Right now, I am leading in the state of Florida right now, so they might call the state of Florida actually for me. So right now, I'm leading right now with 3 votes in the state of Florida. It looks like they are going to call the state of Florida for me, but it's too early until the Associated Press called the state of Florida. Florida is still in play, but it looks like to me there's a heavy competition in the state of Florida, and I want to see who else. So in the state of Florida here, we have actually a split voting. So in the state of Florida, we had Lincoln getting 1 vote. Donald Trump got one vote, okay, from the Patriot Party. Conservative prediction, representing the Constitution Party, got 1 vote, okay. Donald Reagan got 1 vote. So far in the state of Florida, I got 3 votes in the state of Florida right now. So it looks like to me he's going to call the state of Florida soon. Let's see how are we doing in the Georgia election. Let's see what are the results right now. So I also got 3 votes in Georgia, which is interesting. Let's see how that will play out. It's always tied. It's tied. Okay, so I got 3 votes. I'm leading. Me and the Republican right now are tied in the state of Georgia. I got 3 votes, and so did the Republican, Donald Reagan. We are at 42.9%, so it's going to be very tight in the state of Georgia. Then going across here, we have 1 vote for Lincoln in the state of Georgia, but we have no vote for Donald Trump in the state of Georgia. Oh, actually, I just won the state of Florida. But in the state of Georgia right now, with 100% reporting, it's tied. So it is going to be split. So it's going to be 8 electoral votes for me and 8 electoral votes for the Republican candidates. So Georgia is going to be a split state again. A state is going to be proportional, I guess, in this reality. So it's going to be proportional. It's going to be split between me and the Republican. It's really interesting that Boone only got 1 vote and he played spoiler in the state of Georgia. That is really interesting. In the state of Florida, though, I definitely won the state of Florida outright. I won with a majority. Let's see. Yep, I won the state of Florida, like I said. Right now, I am leading in the electoral college count. Right now, it's too early. The election has just begun. But in the state of Florida right now, the Associated Press has called the state of Florida for me with a whopping 30 electoral votes. I am leading the popular vote by 44.4% with 8 votes currently tallied at the moment. I have 44.4% of the popular vote with 50 electoral votes to the Republican candidate right now having 5 votes, but only getting 27.8% of the popular vote to 11 electoral votes. Like I said, where you vote and every vote matters proportionally. So you got to really hope that, your state, you have a broader network in many different areas that will really determine whether or not you win the electoral college. This is interesting. This is not what I expected. Like, I just feel like I do really well in the South for some reason. I noticed that even in the Democratic primary too. Like, I swept this whole South. The only state that I didn't sweep was South Carolina. I did not sweep South Carolina. And look at my popular vote percentage. I got 1,074 people voting, with 62.2% of the popular vote, with the delegates being enormously large against Jockett, who originally won the first 5 early primary states. Whereas if you look in the Republican primary, you only see here a very contested race. It's very contested. You can definitely see he did somewhat well in the South, but he definitely struggled, especially on Super Tuesday. And he definitely struggled. So it definitely seems like me as a Democratic candidate, I was definitely fit for the South, which is very interesting because one of my major talking points here as a political candidate is I often talked about how I wanted to invest in rural areas. And rural areas are very heavily populated in areas such as Georgia, Florida, and the South Bible Belt region. And that's kind of like what you see here already. You definitely see in this whole region here, I'm doing pretty well. Now, again, like I said, this election is only just beginning, and only some states has been called, and some states has been proportionally split. But definitely Georgia, I think, could have been easily decided by a vote. But third-party candidate Abraham Lincoln split that vote. But it's really interesting to see how tonight is going, and it looks like it's leaning blue, but doesn't mean I will lean blue throughout the rest of the night. Only 18 votes has been counted so far. Let's see if there's a new update. Okay, so no update yet. We do have Abraham Lincoln getting 4 electoral votes with 3 votes in the popular vote right now with 16.7%. And it seems to be the conservative American prediction to lean for the Constitution Party. Only got 1 vote with 5.6%. And Donald John Trump only getting 1 vote with 5.6%. So it's really interesting, again, how even though Donald Trump won third party, he doesn't seem to be able to get the vote necessary in order to win. So again, it's early in the night. We don't know exactly how everybody's voting. We don't really know exactly what is happening in the state of South Carolina. What I think is the next state that he's going to call, if I'm correct. Yeah, he's going in the state of South Carolina right now. You can definitely see here he is going through the results. I won the state of Florida and Kentucky right now, and in the state of Indiana with 11 electoral votes. It was proportionally split between the top 3 candidates, which was me, the Democrat, Reagan, the Republican, and Lincoln, the Union Party, which is really interesting that, the Union Party is doing quite well in the vote, especially for someone who died and was vehemently, taken out. I gotta be careful because this is YouTube, but, you know, he's doing quite well. He's having quite a comeback. Let's see how he does tonight. I think that will be an upset for the ages just because you don't really expect a man who came back from the dead. I call him Zombie Lincoln because that's really what he is. He's Zombie Lincoln. I sound like Donald Trump when I start naming people metaphorically speaking, but yeah. So this is really interesting. Does anyone want to join the debate? Or to talk on the live chat with me? Because you can. You can literally go on camera if you like. Of course, if you're comfortable. Okay, so in the state of South Carolina, it has been voided. When this happened, it means that there was no votes. So in this aspect here, when there is no votes, what that means is the state of South Carolina will not be counted because nobody voted in the state of South Carolina, and therefore the delegates or electoral votes cannot be divided among the candidates that get votes. So therefore, South Carolina does not get representation in this election. So the non-electoral votes are gone. The question is now is if that happens throughout the rest of the continental states, well, will we have enough, or will a candidate have just enough to have 270 electoral votes to reach the White House? And that is the question that we are waiting for tonight. Is exactly who has enough electoral vote to get them to the White House. And if no candidate tonight gets the White House, what does that mean? Well, based on what the guy who's hosting it told me, well, the way that will work is he'll do a ranked choice voting, which means that again, I will be doing more videos, again, trying to get you guys to vote because it might just be a ranked choice voting system where then everybody has to vote and figure out, okay, what state goes where so we know who the election winner is. But as of right now, the way he did it is that when you go into Google Docs and you go to vote, you put in your email, your Gmail, which by the way, he does not see. It's just for you to log in for safety reasons through Google. And then after that, you vote and you just tell the guy what your home state is, and then you vote for one candidate on the ballot. That's it. one candidate on the ballot. You don't go through multiple states. So just say you come from the state of Florida, right? And you put down Florida as your home state, and then you vote for one candidate, and your vote will go to that candidate in the state of Florida only. That's what that's how he did it, which is pretty brilliant in its way. But because we have such a small percentage of voters and stuff like that, it's really interesting to see how they are going to vote and stuff like that. So this is really cool. It's really interesting. Yeah, let's see if we got a new episode. Okay, so we just got a new batch of polls come in right now. Right now, I'm still in the lead by one vote. Right, Donald Reagan is behind me with just one vote. Right, but I do lead him in the electoral college count, which is pretty good. I beat vote count. Okay, so in the state of South Carolina, Vermont, and Virginia, none of those states will be counted at the moment. He is going through the state of North Carolina? Okay, so he's going in the state of North Carolina right now. I'm going to take a look at the result in the state of North Carolina and see what is going on there. Why can I do this? Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm trying to move over and the thing won't move. So I can't see who won what vote in the state of North Carolina. Oh, okay, so Reagan right now had 2 votes in the state of North Carolina, but I had no votes in the state of South. Could anyone tell me what's happening in the state of North Carolina? Because my computer is not working properly. But let's see. Let's go back. Okay, so I got more votes. Let's see if I think it's counting the state of North Carolina right now. Because it's a tie. There's a tie right now. So in Ohio, I got 1 vote. Collins in the state of Ohio got 1 vote. I told you, Collins playing spoiler right now. The Green Party vote is playing spoiler. And Lincoln also got 1 vote. So it's interesting because the third party candidate, Green Party, actually got some electoral college votes. This will be the first election in which the Green Party candidate actually wins delegates, or not in this case delegates, I mean electoral votes, which means Collins is going to get some electoral votes tonight because it's going to be a proportional system in the state of Ohio. So she's going to be getting a big chunk of Ohio's vote. Now in the state of North Carolina right now, with I think he has 100% reporting. Yeah, he did. Lincoln actually wins the state of North Carolina, at least, yeah, because North Carolina and Reagan. So Reagan and Lincoln are tied in the state of North Carolina, which means that North Carolina's electoral votes will be split between the two, which is really interesting that Abraham Lincoln is the candidate that is being picked, not Donald Trump. Because most people who go and you ask a Republican, they are going to say now that Donald Trump is their first candidate, the best president. But it doesn't seem to be appearing on the ballot. It appears that Abraham Lincoln is everybody's favorite president. But then again, it's too early to tell right now. The vote is still being counted. So let's see what the votes are right now. The votes. Abraham Lincoln, I had never expected that. I was expecting Donald Trump. I was texting a Republican guy, and I was like, yo, I think we're going to be in big trouble with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to get us. Like, he's going to take us both out in this race. But never, ever have I thought Abraham Lincoln was going to do so well in this election. I never thought that. That is not something that I ever considered. Just, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't consider it. I don't know. It's not something that you would think of. Like a guy who's dead, you would think he wouldn't resonate with majority of Americans just because. But then again, everybody knows Abraham Lincoln. But everybody also knows Donald Trump. So, like, I don't know. I just thought Donald Trump is more relevant to this time frame period and when this election is being taken place. So I would assume Donald Trump would be the one getting the votes. But, it's interesting to see how this is playing out. If you see me texting, I am just texting on the Discord for this general election. Guys, join the live thing. Heather, I think. It's interesting. I was waiting for this moment, and I am really nervous. I'm really nervous right now, but it is so cool. It is so cool. It's nerve-wracking a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, let's see if we get an update now. Let's see if he had a new update in a new state. So did any of you guys vote yet? Okay, so we just got a new state called in the state of West Virginia. Let's go in the state of West Virginia right now. It doesn't look like I gained any electoral votes, but we're going to look at the data right now. Why it is not cooperating? Okay, so I did not get any delegates or any electoral votes. Well, I can honestly stop saying delegates. I'm so used to primary and I kind of forgot to say electoral. Okay, so Constitution Party actually got a vote in the state of West Virginia, but he's tied with somebody. Let's see. He is tied with Reagan in West Virginia. So the delegates there will be split between Reagan and the Constitution Party. So I do not get any say. So where seemed to be where I was able to get some where I seem to be able to get some electoral college vote was in the state of Indiana, Kentucky, Florida, and Georgia. But in the state of Ohio, West Virginia, and North Carolina, I did not seem to appeal to those states, which is interesting. Although I won those seats pretty well, it did not seem to be translating in tonight's election. So we only have 27 votes counted so far. We still have a whole bunch more to go. So the election is not over. The election is still beginning. Okay, so there is an update in electoral vote count here. I lead in the popular vote with 34.6%, with 55 electoral votes. Donald Reagan, who is the Republican candidate right now, is behind the popular vote candidate with 30.8% of the popular vote to 21 electoral votes, with Abraham Lincoln not too far behind in the popular vote nor the electoral vote count. It's actually more tighter in the electoral vote count than it is in the popular vote. And Abraham Lincoln right now is 23.1% of the popular vote to 18 electoral votes for Abraham Lincoln. And then Rachel Collins from the Green Party, Conservative American Predictions, and Jeffrey Lee, the Libertarian candidate, all got one vote. Where's Donald Trump? Actually, Donald Trump did not get a vote at all, apparently. He did not get a vote. And that, again, is really interesting, is why Donald Trump is not resonating as the third party candidate. So it's really interesting how Donald Trump does really well when it comes to being on the Republican Party ticket, but when it comes to, you know, Donald Trump, running at the third party, it doesn't seem to be appealing to Republican voters. So Rachel Collins actually now just picked up for the first time for the Green Party candidates and the Green Party in general. This is the first time in an election season where Green parties will actually gain 6 electoral votes. And Conservative American prediction, the Constitution Party will gain 2 electoral votes. So this is really interesting. The reason why this is so important because this election is different than a normal election. Because a normal election will normally show the result because it's a two-party race. But because it's not a two-party race like a regular electoral college run, this is a proportional system, which allows third-party candidates like Abraham Lincoln, Green Party, even Libertarian candidates to actually gain electoral votes, which in this case it seems to be. So this is a multi-party electoral vote system. This will be what will happen in a proportional electoral system, which we don't have. Most states, if you win the popular vote in those state, even by the slimmest of margin, your state will get all the votes. So you will get all the winner-take-all system is really what it is. Okay, so Leo just said that there is a new update. So let's see what the new update is. Thank you for that, by the way. Okay, it doesn't seem to be a new update right now. Donald Trump just got a vote for the first time. Let's see what that state is. So how can I? Oh, I hate this thing sometimes. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, let's see where Donald Trump got the vote. Okay. Donald Trump Was Donald Trump? Donald Trump. Okay, he got it earlier. He got it in the state of Florida, but he didn't seem to get any other vote anywhere else. So West Virginia is the only state that's called. The next state that's going to be called soon is the state of Alabama. Let's see if there's any votes there in the state of Alabama. We have 102 electoral votes so far out of 538 electoral votes called. Again, there are a lot of states that were called that new results from 21 states soon. So we're going to have a new big bash of poll closing soon, and we're going to see who wins. So that can be interesting. Thank you, Leo Patriot or period. I apologize for mispronouncing your name. My apologies. Let's see what happens. So let me see. Can I put a poll in this thing? Does anyone know how to do a poll? Doesn't seem to be that I know what I'm doing. It's clearly obvious I don't know. Okay, so I want to know is how many of you voted? That's interesting. A lot of people don't know I'm back to YouTube, so that's why we have a low viewership count. All right. Yeah, I'm back on YouTube. It's gonna take a little bit. Let's see. Pink Stability is texting me. YouTube. So Leo told me there's going to be 21 states being called soon. So we are going to see how the country is heading. So let's see how that turned out. Again, I am the Democratic Party candidate right now. I won the Democratic primary with 62.2% of the vote to 2,934 delegate count. In terms of the Republican primary, nominee, Donald Reagan from the state of Florida, who leans right, he won the popular vote with 36.2% with 1,433 delegates. Let's see where we are right now in terms of the presidential election results. So it doesn't seem any seats were called right now. Oh, okay, we just got a big call. We just got a call for the Collins in the state of Alabama, actually. The first time that a Green Party candidate had ever won the state of Alabama and won any state in general. Green Party candidate Rachel Collins had carried the state of Alabama with his 9 electoral votes. So let's see if we get that updated here. It's going to take a little bit. Again, this is one person doing all this, so clap for him because he is doing a lot of work tonight. So thank you, Leo. So Rachel Collins tonight has won a state. The first time a Green Party candidate has won a state. She won a state, whereas Abraham Lincoln did not win a state tonight so far. He's tied in multiple states, but does not seem to be able to win a state outright. So let's see. It also goes for Donald Reagan, who is the Republican Party candidate and still is not able to win a state tonight. Will that change in the next poll closing? Because we're expecting 21 states to be called very shortly. So we'll see if the Republican candidate is going to carry any of those 21 states, even Rachel Collins, or anybody else, really, for that matter. And who do you think is going to win majority of the 21 states being called soon? That would be really interesting to see. I hope I win most of it, but let's just see, because I'm really curious right now. Again, the Democrat Party, I am leading right now, still in the popular vote, but again, we only tied. We only one vote above the Republican candidate. We're only in 29 votes counted so far. I know I'm definitely probably going to carry the state of New York. I just have a feeling because I did really well in New York in the Democratic primary with 85% of the votes supporting me. So I definitely expect the state of New York to be one for me. But then again, I feel like I might eat my own words, and that would be kind of really bad. But I'm really hoping I win the state of New York. I really could use those 28 electoral votes, if you know what I mean. But I'm really eyeing for California because California is really a Democratic stronghold. And if I lose the state of California, I am screwed. Okay, I am screwed. But you never know. I mean, I won an unconventional state. I won the state of Kentucky, which is so unconventional, not an area that I even expected to win tonight. Yet I won the state of Kentucky. So that is interesting. I did pretty well in the state of Indiana and Georgia. So really interesting. We're having a very interesting night indeed. Let's see if we got an update results soon. Nope, the results have not been updated yet. Let's see if anything else has been updated. Okay, so we just got a big call. We got called now in the state of Connecticut. We just had our first state call for, I believe, Reagan. Nope, don't call me on that. Actually, in the state of Lincoln. Lincoln just won his first state. So Lincoln, congratulations to you. You carried and won the state of Connecticut. So you won Connecticut's 7 electoral votes. Rachel Collins, the Green Party candidate, won Alabama's 9 electoral votes. I won the district of Delaware. No, excuse me. I won the district of Columbia with 1 vote. So I won that outright 100%. So I won the district of Columbia with 3 electoral votes. A Democrat has always won the District of Columbia. I expect that tonight. I mean, I did say as a candidate that I support the statehood for DC and Puerto Rico. So I definitely did expect to win DC tonight, and it looks like it pulled through with 100% of the vote. Okay, I did so well in that state so well in that county or district, so to speak, that even no Democrat can get 100% of the DC vote, and I got 100% tonight. So let's see. Hello, how are you? Are you a candidate tonight? I wonder if you are a candidate. Let's see. Did we get an update yet? More updates? So it looks like the electoral vote count on terms of the map is not being updated. I think he's going through the states right now. So in the state of Delaware, it is uncontested. So no electoral votes have been allocated. Same thing in the state of Kansas, Maine, or Maryland. So they are not being allocated tonight. Now, just a reminder how this is being worked tonight, based on what I'm being told, is that this goes by poll closing. So right now he is on the 9:30 poll closing. Well, not 9:30. I think it's like the 8 o'clock poll closing where we have like a big swath of states. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really remember off the top of my head. But yeah. So he's going through those states right now. Eventually, after those 21 states are called, he will update the electoral college map, and we will see what that new map looks like. Hello, how are you? So he is my vice president. So hello, Clark. Hey, that's my vice president. Future vice president. You know what I mean? And hello, John Page. How are you? He was a candidate that I ran up against in the Democratic primary. John Page did quite well. Let's see what he did. Okay, so he got 1 delegate, but he withdrew pretty early, which is partly why he didn't do as well as expected. But that is because he withdrew pretty early. I think if he stayed in the race, he would have did phenomenally well, just because he is left, but not like far left. If you know what I mean, he's just left. So he would have done really well in the race. I do wish he would have stayed in and made it a little bit more competitive. But I respect John Page's decision, but I do expect him to be in the next Democratic primary. So definitely hold that word. I really hope you do end up in there. I would like to run against you again. Let's see who wins. If I win tonight, and I win outright as the Democratic president, and I become president of the United States tonight, with all the states being called, I would announce my reelection bid tonight. If I win tonight and I win the electoral vote count with 270, I will guarantee you I'm running for reelection. Okay, Clark Kent will be my vice president, and we will run for reelection one more time, and we will blow this out of the water. Okay, you hear me? We're going to blow this out of the water. We'll do so well. Well, let's see how tonight's going now. We're not going to rush it, but regardless of what happened, we're running for re-election. Again, it's too early. Okay, so we just got a big call for Reagan in the state of Massachusetts. Okay, he won with 75% of the vote to me, the Democratic candidate Oliva, only having 1 vote with 25% of the vote in the state of Massachusetts. Massachusetts has been called with 11 electoral votes. I went to Donald Reagan. So Donald Reagan, the Republican candidate, has finally been put on the map. So he has finally gotten 11 electoral votes his first seat of the night. So that is interesting. I am a little sick. You guys probably hear it though. Okay, in the state of Michigan, it is contested. It's actually very split right now. So let's see if it's at 100% first before I make any call. Okay, so it's at 100% right now, actually. So it is divided between the Democratic candidate Oliva with 2 votes, Reagan with 2 votes, and let's see who else. So the Republican and Democrat both have 2 votes in the state of Michigan. So it is a battleground state without a doubt. And then in the state of Michigan, Collins, the Constitution Party, and Lincoln all got 1 vote, which gives them 14% of the vote in the state of Michigan. Both the Democrat and the Republican are tied at 28.6% of the vote, respectively, which probably means if he is doing a proportional system, he will probably divide the top 2 candidates, 15 electoral votes in the state of Michigan between me and the Republican candidate, Donald Reagan. So hopefully that works out. Let's see if we got a new update in the electoral vote count yet. I'm really hoping that is what is being updated. Nope, that is not being updated so far. Let's see. I think he's still going through the process. So Mississippi is uncontested. So if 8 electoral votes, well, 6 electoral votes, yeah, would not be given out in this election. In the state of Missouri, it is tied, right? Donald Reagan, the Republican candidate, at 50% of the vote, and it is split between, I think, Donald Trump. Hold on, let's see. Is that Donald Trump right here? No, he is split actually with the Reform Party. So the Reform Party, a majority of Reform Party tonight will be getting electoral votes in the state of Missouri. So definitely expect Reagan to be getting 5 electoral votes from the state of Missouri. And same thing for the Reform Party, which actually Donald Trump ran back in early 2000. He ran for the Reform Party, which also, by the way, was used to be what Perot used to run on in 1992 and 1996. Unfortunately, it fell apart after Donald Trump. Okay, no, the electoral vote count has still not been updated yet. Let's see. Donald Trump has only still gotten 1 senator vote here. In the state of New Hampshire, it is uncontested. There is no votes in the state of New Hampshire. So it's uncontested. Its 4 electoral votes will not be allocated tonight. I don't think anyone's here tonight because it is cold and it is nighttime, so I can understand why nobody's watching. I'm really hoping I at least have like 5 people from my YouTube channel who's voted. I mean, I don't really expect it just because I wasn't really that active on YouTube, but I'm really hoping they did. You know, that would be really helpful. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Let's see. Did we get an update yet? Okay, so we just got a new update in the state of New Jersey. I won the state of New Jersey with 100% of the vote being totaled. I helped carry the state of New Jersey with its 14 electoral votes. I can take anything I can get at this point. You know, that's really interesting. So the Republican candidate only won 1 state tonight, which is the state of Massachusetts. Abraham Lincoln carried the state of Connecticut. The Green Party candidate carried the state of Alabama. Yeah, that's it. And the state of Indiana, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia, Michigan, and Missouri were all tied, and all of its electoral votes was proportionally allocated to the top winners, whoever the top numbers are. So to say you got 28.6% of the vote, and so the other candidate, it will be split between those two. So this is really interesting. Election night is turning out to be not an election night I thought it was going to be happening tonight, honestly. I honestly thought it was going to be kind of like our traditional map, you know? Yay, we won New Jersey. Yes. 14 electoral votes. The last Republican to win Massachusetts, Ronald Reagan. Now another Reagan won Massachusetts. Great. Actually, that's actually interesting. Yeah, you are right. Because even what's it called? Richard Nixon couldn't really carry the state of Massachusetts. You know what I mean? You could not carry the state of Massachusetts for some reason. But you are absolutely right. You ran as Donald Reagan, and yet you won the state of Massachusetts by a pretty convincing margin over me. You won with like 35% of the vote in the state of Massachusetts, and I only got 25% at the Democratic candidate, you know, in the state of Massachusetts. You won outright in Massachusetts, which is a very heavily Democratic stronghold in this reality, but in you know, this general election, it's a Republican stronghold for you. You know, it appears to be that way, and I guess the Reagan name really carries on in the presidential results. So let's see. So no states have been called yet. In the state of Pennsylvania, we just got something. It looks like I'm losing the state of Pennsylvania. Let's see if all the votes are counted yet. Let's see. Yeah, we had a spoiler in the state of Pennsylvania, unfortunately. It looks like we had a spoiler. Yeah. But only actually 0% of the votes are counted yet in the state of Pennsylvania. So there might be some more votes to count in Pennsylvania, but it is very tight. We have Reagan, the Republican candidate right now, with 4 votes, to Oliva, the Democratic candidate, at 3 votes. And it looks like we do have another vote coming from somewhere else, because I only had 30% of the vote. Reagan has 40% of the vote, and then we're missing 20%, I think, if I do the math correctly. Yeah. So we actually have 30% missing, excuse me. And that all came from, let's see what political party won those days. Okay, so we have here, we had Reform Party won a vote, Trump won a vote in the state of Pennsylvania, and so did Lincoln. So I will definitely call right now. It looks like the state of Pennsylvania, where there's 19 electoral votes, it's going to be another state in the Reagan column. Reagan has won the state of Pennsylvania. So congratulations to Reagan. You have won the state of Pennsylvania. Now in the state of South Dakota, what was also called, it doesn't seem like there was any votes counted yet in the state of South Dakota, so we are still waiting in the state of South Dakota. Actually, no, hold on. I just checked now. I just realized. Light gray means that it has been uncontested, which means there's no votes, which means the state of South Dakota electoral votes will not be counted tonight. I'm really nervous to see how the popular vote. So right now I'm still in the head of the popular vote by 1 vote. So it's definitely seemed to be that the popular vote is very tight. Very tight. Very tight tonight, as you can see. I'm right now leading in the popular vote with 33.9% of the popular vote, with 55 electoral votes, to Donald Reagan, the Republican, winning right behind me with 32.3% of the popular vote to 21 electoral votes. Again, this electoral vote count has not been counted yet and has not been updated. And then it's followed by Abraham Lincoln from the National Union Party with 10 votes, was allocated to 16.1% of the popular vote with 18 electoral votes. Again, has not been updated yet. But Rachel Collins, who actually won the state of Alabama the first time for a Green Party candidate, is right now ahead in right now trailing in fifth, I think. Yeah, fifth, with 4.8% of the popular vote with 6 electoral vote. As for conservative American predictions from the Constitution Party, he is in 4th place right now with 6.5% of the popular vote with 2 electoral votes. And then Donald Trump had 2 votes with 3.2% of the popular vote with 0 electoral votes. And for John Featherperson from the Reform Party, he had 2 votes, with 3.2% of the popular vote with 0 electoral votes. Again, this will change as the night goes on. We only have 62 votes counted. We still have 110 total. Okay, so we just got three major calls in the state of Pennsylvania with 19 electoral votes. We can safely call the state of Pennsylvania has gone to the Republican candidate Reagan. Reagan has won the state of Pennsylvania. In the state of Rhode Island, with its 4 electoral votes, Reagan has carried the state of Rhode Island with its 4 electoral votes. In the state of South Dakota, it appears to me that it's uncontested, which means that no results has been allocated, which means no electoral votes has been allocated in the state of South Dakota. Again, like I said, I seem to be doing quite well in the South, and that seems to be where I am pulling most of my support from. In the state of Tennessee, one vote went to Constitutional Vote or Constitution Party. And then so did Reagan. Reagan got one vote, but I outright won the state of Tennessee with its 11 electoral votes. So I have won the state of Tennessee. So I won Tennessee. So that's really good. Update? Okay, I will update. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so actually I'm ahead now in the popular vote. Wow, okay. So the popular vote has definitely increased for me, but the electoral vote count is so tight. So it appears to me tonight that what I'm seeing is that actually the Democratic Party candidate, me, will win the popular vote. I will definitely say for certain I'm going to win the popular vote. It looks like that is going to be the case tonight. But again, it was too close to call. Only 5 votes between me and the Republican Party candidate, and that could really change with the next batch of poll closings in the next couple of days. Oh, wait, what? How is that even possible? Wow. Okay. We got a big call tonight in the state of Texas with its 40 electoral votes. I have flipped the state of Texas. I got 5 votes to the Republican candidate, only getting 14.3% of the popular vote, being split with, let's see, who is this person? With Abraham Lincoln. So between those two, I have won the state outright in the state of Texas with 71.4%. I won Texas by a large margin. I've carried the state of Texas 40 electoral votes. I have won the state of Texas. That's a big win tonight. That is a big win for us. Like I told you, we're doing very well in the South. I told you that in the state of Texas and the southern region, I seem to be doing very well. When I said that I was going to be as a candidate, I was going to represent and invest in rural areas and to really help out the rural communities and bring up the rural communities and just really create like a coalition between them and just make them not feel so left out. For so long, the rural community has felt left out, by the big city. And so it seems to be tonight that those in those southern regions who have high rural population are turning out in droves for the Democratic Party candidate Oliva, which is me. So that is phenomenal. Yes, I have won the state of Texas with his 40 electoral votes. That is a big win. The last time a Democratic candidate has won the state of Texas actually was Jimmy Carter back in 1976. And no Democrat has been able to win the state of Texas since. Tonight, it appears that I have won the state of Texas with a large majority. Even, Joe Biden came close to winning Texas by 6.5 vote, 6.5 in the popular vote. But he was behind Donald Trump, was able to lead in the state of Texas. But I have won the state of Texas tonight, which is really cool. The electoral vote has been updated. Let's see. Yes, okay. So, okay, we have some big calls tonight. Somehow, he just got a big call in a couple of other states. So let's take a look at that. And he just made a projection in the state of Michigan and Illinois. Let's take a look in Michigan and Illinois. Okay. So in the state of Illinois, I have flipped the state of Illinois, or I have carried the state of Illinois with 66.7% of the vote. And it was tied with, who is that? With Lincoln. With Lincoln. So I have won outright the state of Illinois. Woohoo! We won Illinois. That's great. That's great, guys. And what about Michigan? Michigan earlier in the day was very contested. Very contested. Why is Michigan blue though? because it doesn't seem to be. Because it's two for me and two for Reagan, and Reagan and I are tied, unless somehow there is, I don't know exactly how that works, but okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's a big win in the state of Texas. That is phenomenal. No Democrat has won the state of Texas without winning the White House. Well, that's a lie. We have some Democrats win the White House without the state of Texas, but that was the case normally before Texas. But so here's an update in the electoral vote count and the popular vote. The Democratic candidate Christopher Oliva is ahead right now in the popular vote with 35.6% of the popular vote with 555 electoral votes to Donald Reagan, the Republican candidate who has 28.8% of the popular vote with 62 electoral votes, to Abraham Lincoln, third in line with 15.1% of the popular vote with 25 electoral votes, and Rachel Collins ahead in fourth place right now with 4.1% of the popular vote with 15 electoral votes. And then, so that's really interesting. Guys, how do you feel about tonight? This is really interesting. Hello, how are you? I'm good, how are you? The electoral vote count on the map. Okay, so perfect. So the map has been updated. So how do you guys feel tonight? It's just not the way I expected the election night to be going. Honestly, I thought, Donald Trump was gonna take me and the Republican candidate out tonight, I know definitely I don't think anyone should concede tonight just because based on what it appears to be. Um, it appears to me that I don't think anybody should concede tonight, at least the top two candidates, because it appears to me that the top two candidates are going to be heading for a runoff. Because it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to reach uh, the appropriate amount of votes to be able to declare a winner tonight with 270 electoral votes. Again, I don't know because California is going to come through, but if California is uncontested, then in the state of California, I will probably say after California, we're going to know who wins the election if there's going to be a winner tonight. If they're the winner tonight, I don't know. But if they say I win the state of California, that will really put me at 210 electoral votes. Only 60 votes needed in order to become president of the United States. It's very well possible that I could become the next president of the United States. So this is really interesting. Not how I expected the night to go. I can tell you that for sure. Because I always had this idea in my head, like, okay, so like, is it possible with like eight candidates running on the right side, except one being on the left side, which is Rachel Collins, the Green Party, running more on the Democratic Party line, where there's ticket splitting and stuff like that. People voted for other candidates other than the top two mainstream candidates. You can kind of see how this hypothetical scenario where people vote and how their vote is allocated in that allocation of proportional system. Okay, so Leo Period, who is the Associated Press, calling the states and the vote counting and stuff like that. He is the guy who's going to be calling the states. So you can definitely see here he's the one updating, but it seems to be that I'm in the lead right now with 155 electoral votes. Okay, so I think Leo is just doing whoever has the most electoral votes if no one reaches 270. Okay, I'm gonna ask Leo because if that's the case, then it has been changed. But I think it's possible that we could have a winner tonight, winning with 270 electoral votes. I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to win because I thought it was going to be more right leaning, so to speak. I thought, some people were not going to vote. I do apologize for that. But the way I thought tonight was going to go, I honestly thought, like, we were going to be in a scenario or an outcome where we wouldn't know who was going to win or who was the candidate. I honestly wasn't sure if the Republican or the Democratic candidate, because I am that candidate, the Democratic Party candidate. I wasn't sure if we were going to even win tonight. And I've been saying that all day in the past couple of days. I've been freaking out whether or not we were going to win because I thought the Donald Trump candidate was going to get electoral votes. And somehow we were going to have some sort of Jeb Bush situation where he just swept all 50 states. And it's like, oh my God, I won. and we were just sitting there, we're like, oh, Jesus Christ. But it doesn't seem to be tonight. That doesn't seem to be the case. It does seem to be what everybody was expecting. Is when multiple third-party candidates run on the ballot, the party that isn't as split will be the party that leads the electoral vote count and the popular vote, what seems to be what is the case tonight. So I was telling Leo, it's really interesting that this, election is basically an experiment to really see how RFK Jr. is going to affect Joe Biden and Donald Trump in the head-to-head matchup when it comes to the general election in 2024 in November. So that's what's really interesting, that this is really showing us what to expect the next couple of months, or even the next couple of months, what this map could be. Not saying that, Green Party or Libertarian or even Lincoln was going to come out of the woodwork and somehow win electoral votes. We're not saying that, but we're saying that this is very important because it really indicates how the American electorate doesn't want a two-party system. They want a multi-party system. But when a party is split in multiple ways, like just for example, the Republican Party, it was split among, let me go through it. I'll tell you how split the Republican Party was and how screwed the Republican Party was in this presidential election. Even me as a Democrat, I didn't know this was what was going to happen tonight. We had Abraham Lincoln, we have the Kwan Feather person from the Reform Party. We have Conservative American Prediction from the Constitution Party. We have Donald John Trump from the Patriot Party. We have Skylar B. Bennett from whatever party that is. And then we have Jeffrey Lee from the Libertarian candidate. If you look at all those candidates there tonight, you could definitely see that the Republican Party was split in multiple ways, which means that a lot of the votes were divided into the Republican Party candidate. Donald Reagan had to coalesce his Republican vote for him, but that doesn't seem to be the case tonight. So it does seem like we're going to be getting more votes in. So I'm going to go take a quick look at that. So in the state of Arkansas, Arizona, and Colorado, we cannot make a call in those states tonight because it does appear that they have not had any votes in them. However, in the state of Iowa, with a 6th electoral vote, it will be won by who? It was won by Bennett, the independent candidate. He is winning the state of the state of Iowa tonight. He won 6 electoral votes in Iowa. So Bennett is now on the map. Bennett has won the state of Iowa. So congratulations, Bennett. So, yeah. I don't know. I really did not think this is how tonight was going to go. I had an idea, but this was not one of those ideas, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to add some little background music to kind of get that presidential vibe, if you know what I'm talking about. I think it's loud. Let me know if it's loud. How to get that presidential vibe. I should have did it earlier, but I didn't do it earlier. Hopefully, we're able to get more people doing this stuff. This is fun. I can literally make a YouTube video doing this stuff. This is cool. Yeah, I could actually talk to Leo about that. Maybe Leo might be interested in doing something like that. But not long time, you know what I mean? Maybe every couple months. Because we did talk about that. I told him he's going to get burned out. If he does it regularly, he's going to get burned out. Without a doubt. So it does seem to me tonight that it does seem like the Republican candidates are doing very well in the Northeast. Whereas the Democratic candidate is doing really well in the South and the mid-section of the United States, especially the Rust Belt. Any areas where there appears to be rural votes, that seems to be where I seem to be doing the best tonight. In the state of Louisiana, with its 8 electoral votes, in the state of Minnesota, with its 10 electoral votes, in the state of New Mexico, they are all uncontested, which means their electoral votes will not be counted tonight. In the state of Nebraska, it's too early to call. And in the state of New York, what is just up momentarily, it is too early to call an election winner tonight in the state of New York. So that would be very interesting to see who wins New York. I'm hoping it's May. I gotta stop that Republican trend in the state of New York because I gotta carry that state of New York. Otherwise, I do not want to eat my words. But I said earlier that I better be carrying the state of New York, okay? Because I won New York with 85% of the vote in the state of New York. So let's see. Let's see if I can go down here in the. Oh, let me see where I won in Texas. So Texas, I won by 75% of the vote in Texas. Where's Texas? I really just passed it. So I definitely do think I'm going to win. What to call it? Texas. I do know that. I already won Texas, but let's see. So I definitely think I'm going to win California tonight. I mean, I won it with 50% of the vote, so it's a 50-50 chance. But I think I might just get 50 again. I think California is going to be a tough state to win, but I definitely know it's a swing state. Oh, so I did really well in Texas. So if I won Texas with 47.4%, then I definitely expect to win again in California. I definitely do expect that. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay. Let's see. I won Florida by convincingly with 74%. I won Florida again. I won Illinois with 71%. So I definitely feel like the states where I did quite well, I kind of won. With some states, not so much. But in the state of New York, I won with 85.7% of the vote with 268 delegates. So I definitely do expect to win New York tonight. That is my home state. If I lose New York, that is embarrassing. Let's see, is it updating? So in the state of Nebraska, we're going to make a call in the state of Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes. It's going to go to the state. It's going to go to Lincoln. Lincoln had won his second state tonight. He's going to win Nebraska 5 electoral votes. So Lincoln has carried the state of Nebraska with his second electoral vote. In the state of Wisconsin and Wyoming, in those states tonight, it's been uncontested, which means both Wisconsin and Wyoming tonight would not be called. So the electoral votes would not be counted tonight. So we are almost done. We have 49% electoral votes allocated. Right, we have 538 electoral votes. A lot of the states are not counted tonight. It doesn't look like they will be. But right now, the Democratic candidate, Oliva, who is me, in the state of New York, I currently lead right now with 135 electoral votes to the Republican candidate 62 electoral votes. Right, I lead right now in the popular vote with 37.7% of the popular vote to Donald Reagan, 28.6% of the popular vote. Donald Trump is at 2.6% of the popular vote. Very poor performance for Donald Trump tonight. But it's not what he expected. He expected to win very big tonight, but that does not seem to be the case. Abraham Lincoln, who a lot of Republicans have touted that Donald Trump is a lot more better than that candidate. Defied odd, Abraham Lincoln has done very well tonight. Okay, he's done very well tonight, which is very interesting. Very interesting. It's not surprising, though. I'm not surprised. Lincoln won New York? Wait, what? Oh, that is so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing if I lost New York. How the hell did I lose New York? Hold on, I gotta see this. I lost New York? Oh, that is so embarrassing. How the hell did he win New York? You know what? He lived in the city. I'm not surprised. He lived in the city. He beat me in New York. He beat me in New York, and he won convincingly too. That is so bad. That is so embarrassing. Well, congratulations to you, Lincoln. I don't know what to say. Like, that is so embarrassing. Maybe I spoke too soon. That's what I will say. I spoke too soon in the state of New York. We have 2 New Yorkers running. Obviously, the New Yorker won. You were closer to New York City. You won the state of New York outright. congratulations to you. That is not the result that I wanted in the state of New York. It is obviously embarrassing. So I am very worried in the state of California now. I can only imagine what that might look like. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God, what just happened? Oops. Okay, let's go back to this. Oh my God, what is going on? I am going to remove this temporarily just to get this situation fixed. I do apologize. I don't know what just happened. Let me see. How do I go back to this history? Okay, it's loading. I don't really think any of you guys want to see what I look like. So here you go. We are back on top. So you can definitely see the state of New York was called for Abraham Lincoln. What an embarrassment tonight. You know, this is his third state tonight. And he, of course, won my home state. And that is embarrassing. But hey, listen. If you look at Abraham Lincoln, his home state technically that he chose was Kentucky, and I won that. So you know what? We're even. We are even tonight. Okay, but I still lead in the popular vote with 33.3% with 155 electoral votes. Abraham Lincoln is really giving the Republicans a run for their money. He's actually right now ahead in the popular vote. He's ahead in the popular vote against the Republican candidate. That is really bad. That is bad. That's all I gotta say. It's bad. I did not expect that. No, I did not. Oh my God. I did not expect New York to go for the Lincoln. Lincoln, okay? I live in New York, okay? I thought I had enough people in New York to vote for me, okay? I did not think 4 people voted for me in the state of New York. That is not something I thought. Hello. Long time no see. How you been, love? I haven't seen you in a little bit. What do you think of election night? It is so unconventional. This really shows how, you know, the Republican Party went in a split in multiple different ways. Does not perform well electorally speaking. But you can definitely see if you do the math here, if you were to give the electoral vote and the math to Donald Reagan, I wonder how that will play out. You know what I mean? How that would play. Like, what if, you know, Donald Reagan would probably give me a run for money if he didn't have all these third-party candidates, you know? Yeah, I did not expect that. That was a shocker right there. I'll give you that. But you want to know what was a big shocker? Texas. Texas was a big shocker, okay? I did not even think that I was going to win Texas. Texas was not even on my radar. I was like, okay, I got to win Texas, Ohio, you know, California. That was on my thing. But Texas, I had no idea. I was like, oh, a lot of people are going to vote politics. Everybody's going to vote party line, you know? I was like, oh, everybody's going to vote Republican because it's Texas, you know. I did not think I was going to carry Texas, you know. I carried Texas better and further, like, so good, so well. I won with 75% of the vote in Texas, whereas, like, Lincoln only won with, like, just barely hovering around 50% of the vote. But then again, he did very well. He got 11 voters in New York. But that also means that we were at 90 votes. That means we only have 20 votes left. Well, 90 to 100. Yeah, we have 20 votes left before the election is over. We have 20 votes left. So who won California? Right now, we have no idea. We have no idea who won the state of California. One more state before California? Oh my God. I'm so nervous. I better win the state of California. I really need California. Because think about it. If I win California, I'm at 210 electoral votes. But the problem with that is Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Utah, you know, all those states need to not be uncontested. If it's uncontested, we're screwed. Because we need 270 electoral votes to win the presidency. And it doesn't look like tonight we have enough voters in enough states to be able to call a winner tonight for the White House. So, okay, that does seem to be the case. It does seem to be that Idaho, Montana, and Nevada, we got no voters in there, so no state has been called in any of those states tonight. So it doesn't mean California is that. Let's see. Who do you guys think is gonna win the state of California? Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Okay. I am so nervous right now. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm like so nervous. This is like so exciting. Because you want to know something really nice about this too, is that you know that there's going to be no consequences no matter who wins. It's just for fun. You know, a lot of people are asking me, "Yo, Chris, are you running for president?" Yeah, I am, but like not in reality. You know, I'm not even old enough. But technically, I could make the constitutional argument. And hear me out. You know, I can make the argument that the Constitution is vague and only says 35 years old of age can run for president, but does not specify physical age. It doesn't specify mental capacity of being 35 or stuff like that. So it's really interesting to see how that will play out. I am very nervous. I don't know who's going to win the state of California tonight. So my vice president right now is acting Leo Patriot, who is the guy hosting the election. How did he decide who's going to win tonight if nobody reaches 270? It appears that's going to be the case tonight. I'm thinking, what if Skylar B. Bennett, who is the far right candidate, you know, you did pretty well. You won a state tonight, so congratulations to you. I wonder if the states that haven't been called or that are uncontested, what if he hosts another election where he finishes those states and everybody has to vote in those states and who they want to be their candidate in those states? Now, hypothetically speaking, I don't know exactly how you're going to play this out, but this is really interesting. This is the first election that he has ever hosted, the first election that I have ever been in, and I've been the nominee, and it had an electoral vote count. So I might eat myself saying that because I have a feeling I might not carry the state of California. Thank you for your vote. Thank you. Let's see if we have an update yet in the state of California. Please do not update the map yet. I don't want to see the map. I'm trying to hide my hand because I don't want to see if I won California yet. Okay, so we got a victory in the state of Utah. It has been called in the state of Utah. But right now, it has 0% reported, so we don't exactly know who won. But it looks like Reagan, based on his color pattern, Reagan is going to carry the state of Utah with a 6 electoral vote. Again, we don't know exactly who's going to win tonight, but it definitely does appear that Reagan has won another state, but it's not confirmed yet by the Associated Press. If you see me on my phone, I am actually on the Discord, which is where all these people are talking to. Okay, so it has been confirmed now. Thank you, Paige. So Paige has confirmed that Utah has won to Reagan. Reagan has won the state of Utah. So congratulations to Reagan. He has won another state. This is his third state on the electoral vote map. So let's see how that goes. He won the state of Utah with a 6 electoral vote. This is really interesting because I know Donald Reagan and Abraham Lincoln are tied in the popular vote, and Donald Reagan is ahead right now by 10 electoral votes above Abraham Lincoln. This is exactly what he needs, but it'd be quite embarrassing for a major mainstream party to be behind a third-party candidate. You know, again, this is really interesting. I only had my vote split between me and Rachel Collins, the Green Party candidate. Thank you for all of you guys who have voted for me. I really appreciate it. You know, the electoral map is working in my favor. Knock on metal. So, but again, it is too early to call, right? Too early. So we will see who wins the state of California. Oh, we also got a call in the state of North Dakota. Who won North Dakota? In the state of North Dakota, the Libertarian candidate Lee has actually won a state. This is the first time in American history that Libertarian candidate has won a state tonight. He won 3 electoral votes in North Dakota. So that is really interesting. Again, this is like more of like what you would expect from a multi-party system in America. This would be where, you know, either the states that are tied would be proportionally split. And oh my God, that would be the worst case scenario. What if I don't outright win all of California's 55 electoral votes? Well, 54 technically now because the math has kind of like went down for them. But I need California's 54 electoral votes. I think he's waiting. That's why he didn't call the state of California yet. But he knows that then at that point we know who won the election or if there's going to be a winner tonight. Yeah, this is interesting. And it's interesting because it's only 11:36 p.m. on the East Coast, and California has not been called yet. Let's see. We have 5 more states to be called left tonight, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be a winner in most of those states. Let's see. Okay, so we have 101 votes counted so far. And it is tight. Oh my God, in the state of California right now, I lead in California by 1 vote with 33.3% to 22.2% for Donald Reagan. And yeah, and who's that? Is that Donald Trump? Don't tell me that's Donald Trump. No, that is Constitution Party. So Constitution is also at 111. And also, oddly enough, in the state of California, so is Lincoln. Don't tell me we're tied. Don't tell me California's tied. Lincoln, what did you do? Wait, I won California? My vice president had just told me that I won the state of California. Let's see if that's true. Yes! Yeah, so it was counting, so it was counting. So I won California, 54 electoral votes. This is amazing, guys. We won California. Every vote counts, okay? Every vote counts. This is why I'm telling you, this vote counts completely. Yeah, so it was tight. It was between me and Lincoln. Because Lincoln got 4, and I got 6. So I got 42.9% of the vote, where the Republican candidate only got in the state of California 14.3% of the vote in California. And then I think who is this? Who is that? The prediction got 7.1% of the vote in California. So did Trump in California. Got 1 vote in California with 7.1% of the vote. And then Lincoln got 4%. So Lincoln really screwed over the Republican Party in California. Really, if you think about it, he would have tied me in California, but I won California. So congratulations to us. We really needed California tonight. I also won Oregon. Woohoo! We're doing really good. This is what we need, guys. We need momentum. This is what we need. I don't know if we're going to be able to win 270, but tonight we are doing very well tonight, and this is exactly what we needed. This is what we need tonight. I also won Washington. So we won Washington with 12 electoral votes. Do we got a winner? We might have a winner tonight. Hold on, let me do the math here. So hold on. So I'm at what? 155. Wait. 155 plus 54 electoral votes. And then I won Washington, which is 12 electoral votes, plus Oregon, which is 8, but 229 electoral votes for me. I'm going to have 229 electoral votes. I do not have enough tonight to be able to become the next president of the United States. So it does appear tonight by the Associated Press we will not have a winner, or at least we're not going to be able to call a candidate. So we will be waiting on the results from Leo. What is the next step? So Clark, if you could text Leo and ask him if he can come on here and tell me what the next step is. That'd be great, because I want to find out what happened. And what happened if nobody reaches 270, because tonight it doesn't look like we're going to have a winner. Even if I'm in the lead, it doesn't look like I'm going to win outright. I'm not going to have 270 electoral votes. Now, however, a lot of states were not contested. So technically, because a lot of those states not contested, could we even count them in the electoral vote count? So technically, did I just win? Am I president? Let's see. Let's see what the future holds. But is it not the map I would expect then? So, I won the entire West Coast. So that's phenomenal. So yeah, so I won the election as of right now. I won the election. He called the election for me. I have won. I am the next president of the United States. I have won the the popular vote with 35.2% of the popular vote with 222 electoral votes to Abraham Lincoln, ironically enough, with 25% of the popular vote with 58% in the electoral college vote. And for Donald Reagan, who came in third tonight, it appears that the Republican Party is in a lot of turmoil, and we'll have to think about tonight's results, because the party has been split, you can see. If you were to add up the vote, total, the popular vote total, you can definitely tell you tonight, I can say tonight that the Republican Party would have won the popular vote outright. But because they did not win the popular vote tonight, it appears that they do not have enough votes to become the next president or even become third in line. So I definitely will say the Democratic Party has done well tonight. Whoever has the most electoral votes. So it appears tonight that thank you all for voting. I really do appreciate it. I do hope you guys like tonight. Just called the election. So he had called the election with 229 electoral votes. I have won the election. So my vice president has just told me from the Associated Press, I have won the United States election. I am now the next president of the United States. I have won the United States election. We still have some more states though from the state of Alaska and Hawaii have not been called yet, so we will be waiting on those results. Right now, I am at 229 electoral votes to Donald Reagan, 68 electoral vote. However, it does appear tonight that the Republican Party is split and has had their votes divided. So this is definitely not the map that I expected, but I have won by a commanding lead. So even if you would add up the votes for Donald Reagan, I think he would have been a little bit more competitive in some states and not so competitive in other states. But time for that victory speech in the campaign channel. Yes, I know. This is exciting. I was really afraid that I was not going to win tonight. I thought Donald Trump was going to destroy us all. It does not appear that that was the case. It does appear that Donald Trump only managed to get 3.7% of the popular vote, with only 4 people voting for him. It doesn't appear that Donald Trump tonight did very well. So he's definitely going to have to be thinking whether or not he should even consider running as a third-party candidate. I was afraid that I was going to be in a head-to-head matchup with Donald Trump, but that does not appear to be tonight. It does appear that I was able to defeat the Republican candidate and Abraham Lincoln, who would not win his third term in office. Which actually, by the way, I should argue that he should not be able to run in the first place, because technically he had 2 terms as president, but technically he should have not been in this race to begin with. But the campaign is over. We have won. Thank you all for voting tonight for me, for Christopher Oliva, the Democratic Party candidate. We have won tonight, and you have won big in the popular vote and in the electoral college as projected. We have seen turmoil within the Republican Party being split towards 8 different candidates that only have some people voting for Spoiler, for Rachel Collins. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach the required 270 electoral vote threshold, but I am sincerely very grateful to be your Democratic Party president. And this is your first president of a series. I think that we are going to do a multi-series. If you guys like it, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe. We're going to keep going through the results and see if he had called the state of Hawaii and Alaska. So congratulations, Clark Kent, on becoming my next vice president of the United States. He's going to be the first Republican vice president to be on a winning ticket. If anybody does not know, he is my candidate. He is my vice presidential nominee. He is a Republican. So I have chosen a Republican as my vice president, and he won. So we won together on a winning ticket. This is not the solution. When you run, this is what America needs. America needs a Democrat and a Republican on a unity ticket. It's not about division. It's about unity. And tonight we showed unity. The Republican Party, Donald Reagan, was in turmoil. He lost the popular vote. He would have won the popular vote. If you would have add up the votes for Abraham Lincoln and Donald Reagan, he would have won the popular vote by a convincing lead. Even though I would have won the electoral college, it would have been easily the first election where the Democrats lead in electoral vote count but lose the popular vote. In this case, because the Republican Party has been too split, the Democrats have been able to do both. Okay, so we just got a new call tonight. Thank you, John Page. He just called, a new state was just called today. We have the state of Alaska. In the state of Alaska, last year was called for Reagan. Reagan had won 3 electoral votes in the state of Alaska. And in Hawaii, we had four electoral votes went to Colin. So Colin have also carried the state of Hawaii. A great performance for the Green Party candidate, a very poor performance for the Republican Party indeed. The Republican Party is going to definitely be thinking about tonight and its vote. So we have completely 111 electoral votes. To be 111 votes counted total. So this is the final tally. The Republican Party has not been able to win the popular vote. This is the first time in history that a mainstream party is no longer the mainstream party. So I can definitely say tonight, with 98% of reporting, I would definitely say tonight with 98% reporting that the Republican Party is struggling. We're struggling. Like, this the first time in American history where they have not been able to be in third place in the popular vote. But then again, the question that remains now is, now that we see the electoral vote count and how the electoral college works, that you could be, you could win the popular vote, in multiple different places. But if you don't have them allocated in all throughout the all 50 states, you are not going to win and become the next president. You could be as popular as you want in the state of California and have 17 votes, but still not carry throughout the rest of the United States. Like, in the state of New York, right? We had 11 electoral votes for Lincoln in New York. Right? I lost my home state of New York. That's embarrassing. But Lincoln tonight won 11 votes in the state of New York. Did he really need 11 votes in New York? No, he didn't. He needed 11 votes in different places in the United States. He didn't need 11 votes in New York. And the fun thing is, it's like a risk, right? You have those people vote in New York because they came from New York. But just say those people didn't live in New York, but knew him and voted to stay in Oklahoma. He would get Oklahoma 7 electoral votes. You know what I mean? That's why they didn't perform as well. This is the true definition of how the electoral college system works. If you don't have the right people in the right places, you're not able to win. I didn't know that I was going to win Texas. I didn't know I was going to even win Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, Michigan, of all places. I didn't think I was going to win the entire Pacific West Coast, but here we are tonight. We are doing very well. We won the states that we needed to, and we won outright. I think as a candidate tonight, I stand before you as the next president of the United States. Thank you all for voting, and I hope you guys had a wonderful night. I want to hear your thoughts on what you guys all think. So if you guys are still here, let me know what you think of the result. Is this what you expected it to be? Because I did not. This is not how I thought the map was going to turn out. I was thinking more of like a traditional presidential map. But the states have been called, and it has been over, and the election is over. So I'm going to call it tonight. Thank you all for voting. Thank you all for voting for me. If you guys would like, in the comment section below, let me know what you do think. And if we should continue this series. I will run for re-election. I have announced that earlier in the video. I am running for re-election. And so I will see you guys in a couple of months. Hopefully I'm not having a contested primary. But in the meantime, I love you all. Peace now from Oliva, your Democratic candidate. Your Democratic candidate and your Democratic president. Bye.